All right. Well, hey, good morning, everybody. It's John here, ready to talk to you about 10 of the trending articles in the crypto news space. First things first, happy Labor Day, everyone. I took the weekend off to spend some time with the family and to do, well, absolutely nothing productive, which was quite nice. And of course, the market decided to tank, which ruined my weekend vibes. Don't know about you. And we're going to get in and talk about that and where we go from here with all that. But as always, thanks to everyone who has subscribed. I really do appreciate wherever you're finding this content. It really helps. And I'm enjoying doing this for everyone. And as always, all links down in the description. You can follow to check out these articles for yourself. I got a history degree, and I know it's real important for everyone to do their own research and to cite your sources, because credit goes where it is due. So, jumping into things, first up, we got to talk about the controversy with Sushi. For those of you who don't know, Chef Nomi, the synonymous creator of the Uniswap-like DeFi protocol, I'd say Uniswap clone, but that's my opinion, today as in September 6th, so yesterday, transferred control to the CEO of crypto exchange FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried. So he just gave up control. Woo. So, why? It's quite a fun story. So, Nomi had angered the SushiSwap community by withdrawing $13 million from Sushi's liquidity pool on decentralized exchange Uniswap. So, a $13 million looking exit scam. I mean, as far as exit scams go, that's a fairly big one. The community, as well as the general manager of SushiSwap, OX Maki, turned on him and alleged that he had pulled an exit scam, something Nomi denied. Then he went to sleep. Yeah, that's probably not what you want to do, but he was probably angry with everyone and just said, no, I'm done, and went to bed, and I'll be fine in the morning. It wasn't. Once he finally woke up and had to confront the mounting outrage, he gave the admin keys to Bankman-Fried, who just 2 hours prior had tweeted, Nomi sucks and hurt the community. If Nomi doesn't step down, it's over for Sushi. So seems like he felt he was backed into a corner. He got his $13 million, so, why not? So Bankman-Fried said that he will devolve the power to the community once more by transferring control to a multi-sig address. That'll be controlled by leaders elected by the community. After that, Sushi shall be back in the community's hands. Nomi said in a tweet after transferring control, I want to stress again, I did not intend to scam anyone. No LPs are lost whatsoever. I kept all my promises. Don't know about that, but he feels that way, so that lets him sleep at night. Many still harbor ill will against Chef Nomi. I'm kind of in that camp, and wonder whether he will return the $12 million he withdrew from Uniswap. If he didn't break any laws, which in a lot of places around the world, there aren't really good crypto laws, especially not around the DeFi space, he's probably not. I'm assuming as long as he pays his taxes on it, the government's not really going to care. Especially if he had admin access, it was his company, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. There's a chance, but I don't think it's too crazy. But that's quite the story. Chef Nomi will now be able to retire comfortably to the Cayman Islands or somewhere in the Caribbean if he so chooses, and the rest of us will continue our humdrum daily lives. Such is life. So, Sushi will be just fine. It's already rebounded back to close to $3, I believe. People were pretty happy with the transfer of everything over to Mr. Bankman-Fried, so it'll all be fine. So, let's hop on over and talk about Cardano. So, as early as Cardano, or as early as October, oh man, I need more of this big old cup of coffee, Cardano holders will have the opportunity to decide on the allocation of the DC fund resources by decentralized voting, and they're planning to market things pretty aggressively. So, they're pretty focused on decentralizing this ecosystem. I 100% agree. Daedalus and the staking pool seem to be going pretty well. Full disclosure, I own Cardano. I'm staking Cardano through one of the pools on Daedalus. It's a little slow, but the recent update they had has actually improved the speed quite a bit. So I'm actually pretty happy with it. I have gotten some Cardano rewards. Currently, I think last time I looked, about 30% of the blocks are being produced by the pools, with IOHK making up the remaining 70-ish%. So they're making their moves, and I'm pretty happy with what they're doing, though the price has tanked. Well, everything's tanked. So yeah, the voting system for Voltaire is at the top of their priority list. In addition, the DC Fund is to play a decisive role in financing ideas from the community for dApps and entire movements in advance. According to the current plan, the voting system for making suggestions for improvements and funding will be available as early as this month. So that means the first vote for all ADA holders will take place sometime in October. Coming soon. However, this process will be improved by the actual voting system. It is expected to be integrated into the Daedalus wallet come November with a simple button to vote on proposals. That will be quite nice. You don't need to do anything too crazy or anything advanced. You just, ooh, I like that proposal. Click. This, Hoskinson says, will only be available with the release of Goguen, which is their smart contract systems, which I am highly anticipating. For Cardano to continue to grow and succeed, it needs to get in the smart contracts so that way it can launch into the DeFi world. As Hoskinson further stated, progress for Goguen is happening as fast as possible, especially as the final phase of Cardano, Voltaire, is being developed at full speed. And then Charles did speak on the marketing that we talked about up top. He said we're going to be focusing a lot in the next 2 months on product marketing. So we're going to talk about each component of Cardano and answer questions like, what is it? How does it work? Why is it better? And also do comparison marketing. For example, why is Ouroboros better than EOS's consensus? Parity's consensus? It's going to piss off a lot of people, but you know, that's good. I don't know if it's good, but it is necessary. Some aggressive marketing, I believe, is exactly what Cardano needs. They've been doing a pretty good job, or at least Charles has, with putting out pretty steady stream of updates. It's kept things in the public's eye decently well, at least for me. Some other cryptocurrency projects, I have a hard time finding actual news on them. I regularly Google, Zilliqa. I'm going on their website, and they publish updates, but they're pretty sparse, and I want to talk about them more. Cardano does a very good job of giving almost bi-weekly updates, and it's really cool. So that's that. Let's hop on over and talk about good old Polkadot. It is taking the world by storm, or at least the crypto community by storm. I still don't like the name, but whatever. Polkadot has been one of the most talked about blockchain products of 2020, achieving a $3.5 billion valuation and convincing many of its viability as a genuine contender for Ethereum's crown. This is, to me, fairly reminiscent of when EOS emerged on the scene. What was that, 2018-ish? I'm kind of getting those vibes, but we'll see. So Polkadot has 4 pretty big projects out of the gate: MakerDAO, Acala, Akropolis, and Sora. We're going to be talking about each of the 4 of them in turn. So Polkadot's got a unique ability to link disparate networks and be much more interoperable, which is one of the difficulties with wider blockchain adoption, and which is why you're seeing a lot of cross-chain communication stuff being developed right now. Polkadot's got that right out of the gate. It has provoked intense interest in the developer community and attracted an array of intriguing projects whose performance will shape the network's fortunes. Spoiler alert, they're DeFi related. So Mantra DAO is a community-governed DeFi platform focusing on staking, lending, and governance. Be powered by its own native OM token, which will allow holders to participate in key decisions via their Karma protocol, and will be distributed as reward for contributions. Pretty standard. Acala or Acala. I'll go with Acala. It's a self-proclaimed DeFi service center. It will compromise collateralized stablecoin issuance, staking, DEX, and support for DeFi apps, and it will be governed by the Acala Network Token, or ACA. It wants to facilitate low-cost value transfer across multiple blockchains. There you go. Moving on, Akropolis embodies how DeFi and Polkadot will look, or ideally will look. User-friendly, scalable, and composable. User-friendly is the big one. I feel that is a big problem with a lot of DeFi protocols right now. Akropolis provides the tools for DAO creation, borrowing and lending, and DeFi-based saving. It's currently in the process of integrating a fiat gateway, which is going to be huge, which will enable users to enter the Akropolis system using a credit card to fund their wallet. That is, to me, that's big, though I still can't do that with Chase, whatever. But no longer will you have to link your Ethereum wallet, link your MetaMask wallet, and do this, and do that, and do this, and that, and that. You can just buy it with a credit card, which is still pretty convenient for most people, especially now. We're getting there with crypto. We're getting there. But adding an additional way for noobs to get into the system is awesome. And then finally, we've got Sora. Its intent is creating a decentralized autonomous economy. Essentially, it'll be an informal DAO built around the native XOR token, or ZOR. The Sora app enables users to send and receive crypto assets and earn reputation points. This kind of thing, it's suit to being built on a scalable blockchain framework by Polkadot, where fees are guaranteed to be low. That's not advertising. If Polkadot really wants to challenge Ethereum, projects flying under its banner need to make the mark right out of the gate. I would have liked for one of these four crypto projects to not be DeFi based, but that is the big thing right now. Like having an Oracle project being talked about would be pretty cool. But this Jake Simmons guy, who wrote this article, I'm willing to bet he is a Polkadot fan, because he says, but you'd be a fool to bet against them given the sort of innovation it's already attracting. Well, I don't know about that, but it's definitely a project I'm going to watch with some interest. I mean, its $3.5 billion valuation puts it in the top 10 cryptos by market cap. So it's definitely something we're all going to have to keep an eye on. But hopping on over, just a little news flash for you. Despite this 40% price drop that ruined all of our weekends, has not really affected Ethereum too much, other than at least 68 Ethereum Whales, so close, join the network, potentially adding millions in holdings to what they've got. According to crypto Twitter user Ali Martinez, data from analytics site Santiment shows that the number of investors holding between 1,000 and 10,000 Ethereum, roughly 350 to 3.5 million right now, increased by the 68 number in three days since August the 31st. So basically, there's a huge dip in price, and people who've got the money to invest are investing. I think this shows there's still really good long-term faith in the Ethereum market, despite the crazy swings. I mean, this is crypto. What did you expect? We've had quite the uptick in the past few days. I mean, Ethereum hit like $450. People were talking $500. And I was like, well, they've kind of risen pretty high pretty fast. I was hoping that the first day of the drop, when Bitcoin was at like 10.8 and Ethereum is at like 400, I was like, okay, that's good. It'll consolidate and then go back up. And then it kept dropping. But still, this is good news, a little silver lining to the storm clouds of the weekend. But hey, let's hop on over and talk a little bit. This is a longer article. This guy's talking about the 5 things to watch in Bitcoin this week, because it's continuing to test that $10,000 support level. So at the end of last week, we do know that Bitcoin shed about 15% of its value. One of the things that changed on Friday was a macro factor, so a big factor. The U.S. currency dollar index, or the DXY, began rising after hitting its 2-year lows. It measures the USD against a basket of U.S. trading partner currencies. A week previously, an inflation announcement from the Federal Reserve had a very bearish impact on the index, but last week saw a reversal in its fortunes at the expense of safe havens, which Bitcoin is considered. The announcement from the Fed, they were abandoning their 2% inflation target, which is what they've tried to keep the U.S. currency inflating at, which is not a bad thing. You need currency to inflate for a healthy economy, so say some. But 2% was what they're happy with. Now they're looking at more like 4 as we recover from coronavirus and the fact that they made that their money printer go brr. So Kaiser added that developments in the ongoing Brexit saga could also prove a positive influence for Bitcoin over the next month. Should European Union adopt a hardline stance for the United Kingdom, the euro could benefit and pressure the DXY. Now I gotta say this, as Bitcoin and all cryptos become more established, we are going to be paired with the market much more. So these types of conversations, which already happen a lot, are only going to keep happening more and more and more often. So in addition to preparation for Brexit talks failing, which, I mean, they probably will, the EU will eye economic policy as the European Central Bank, ECB, meets to discuss its options. And then the global recovery from the March coronavirus crash, which seemed once robust, is now kind of fizzling. The United States stock market has been crazy up, but that is not due to the health of the economy. That's due to the fact that the government is making that money printer go burr and propping everything up. While most people, unemployment, I think, just fell below 10%, which is great. But there's always the caveat of they stop counting people who stop qualifying for unemployment as being unemployed, which my parents run out in a month. Quite fun. The pre-virus normality, I don't think we'll ever see it, even with the coronavirus vaccine, but that's what people are clinging to. And then the CME gap opened at 10,600. Now this gap is an uptick from the $10,100 Bitcoin is at, and historically it moves up to close that gap. So we should see an increase over the next few days. And then Bitcoin's fundamentals are still good, but the cryptocurrency market is fearful. There's been a lot of different things going on into it. Much of August saw the index linger near its all-time highs of 85 out of 100, also known as extreme greed, right there before the run-up to 12,000. However, the number has dropped almost straight down to about 40, which is the lowest level since July. So we have been just so happy, so crazed. We're finally coming off this high, and there's a bit of a along with everything else going on in the world. Remains to be seen if this continues. It gets better, gets worse. All I know is that I will be keeping an eye on things with bated breath. I am very, very, very excited for where things will go. Whether we go up or down in the short term, I still have faith in the long-term potential of this space. Alrighty, we're halfway there, so let's hop on over and talk about number 6. Alright, so hey, Binance's card is on its way to Russia despite a local crypto payments ban. Not giving up on it. Gleb Kosterev, Binance's head of operations for Russia, and the CIS says that the plan to introduce Binance Card in Russia comes in line with Binance's mission to provide all users with the same experience that is fully compliant with local regs. However, they're not ready to either announce the anticipated date or provide any legal comment on the issue so far. Just simply stating, Russia is an important market and we are working on the launch of the Binance Card in Russia. So in July of 2020, Vladimir Putin signed the country's first crypto-related law, which officially prohibited Russian residents from making payments in cryptos like Bitcoin starting in January 2021. So you hear that, like, well, they're launching a crypto card. So it's completely done. It's shut down. Why are they even bothering? My opinion is this. You pay with the crypto that is, on your card that you store on there. But the time of transaction, it is exchanged for fiat, and then the fiat is what's spent. So I think they're trying to get around that on a technicality. Binance Card officially debuted in the European Economic Area in July of 2020. It will purportedly soon become available in the US. I'm interested to see. The newly passed law seems to have no impact on Binance's business so far. As I've said before, it only prohibits you from making payments, not from holding, transferring, exchanging. You just cannot pay for things with it, which is kind of weird. The adopted version of the law doesn't affect Binance's business in any way, says Kosterev. The law on digital financial assets is fairly neutral and does not prohibit crypto asset turnover. Russia is talking about a secondary law which could strengthen the restrictions, so they're probably using what influence they have to try to fight against that. Continuing on, believe me, a lot of Binance. So Binance has launching Binance Launchpool, which is a DeFi platform that allows users to farm new assets. Its first project, the Bella Protocol, aims to improve DeFi user experience. Check mark 1 for me. The Bella Protocol will use automation and one-click design, as well as subsidizing gas fees to help onboard new DeFi users. Good. It will allow users to stake BNB, BUSD, and ARPA tokens into 3 pools to farm Bell tokens. The initiative lasts for 30 days and begins on September 9th, so Wednesday. They will also subsidize gas fees, which is huge. A majority of crypto holders cannot participate in DeFi due to the high cost and poor user experience, says Bella co-founder and CEO Felix Zhu. With Bella, users can save gas fees and time, enjoy high yield from sophisticated strategies, and leave all the heavy lifting to us, which I think is a pretty good idea. A lot of people stay out of DeFi because they're unsure about what it is, so continuing this user experience, making these quote-unquote one-click designs, and helping out with gas fees are huge to build huge protocols. And as always, Binance seems to guarantee a level of quality, which we're going to touch on here in just a second. So be interested. I'll keep an eye on Bella. Okay, moving on over to number 8. One last thing on Binance-related stuff. They listed Sushi. So they're the world's leading exchange when it comes to registered users and volumes. It's also regarded as the safest one. The team has outlined on multiple occasions that they have a very scrutinous listing process, supposedly making it hard for new tokens to access the exchange's user base. Last week, however, Binance listed good old Sushi, the governance token of the SUSHISWAP platform, a protocol designed as a fork of Uniswap with an added reward mechanism, good old Sushi token. But it's only been out like a week. It's been out like a month at the absolute most. So that's pretty crazy. Speaking on the matter, good old CZ said, as one of the leaders in the space, we support innovation. With innovation comes the chance of high reward and high risk. Some projects make it to the moon while some fall short. Always manage your crypto accordingly. I also like this. He also said, in crypto winter, I tell people to hold. When things are hot, I tell people to be super cautious. I still get heat whenever things go south, but I will take it. It's just hurt to see people getting wrecked and still not managing their risk. I think he just mean it just hurts. But yeah, no. I mean, yeah. It's risk. This is crypto, baby. We love risk. All right, moving on. So quantum cryptography breakthrough. For those of you who don't know, quantum computing is something that is coming in the next 15 to 20 years. The most basic explanation of it is all computers run on code, which is just a string of ones and zeros. Quantum computing makes it so that way it could be a 1 or a 0. It could be both instead of just a 1 or a 0. It adds a third option. essentially, or technically infinite options. It's going to make things really crazy, and a lot of people are talking that it could actually really hurt cryptos because it will enable some of the fastest and most powerful computers that we'll ever seen. It's going to be real interesting times. I can't wait to see it, with some fear and trepidation that will lead to a machine uprising. But hey, whatever. So a team of researchers from various educational institutions have made a breakthrough in the field of quantum cryptography through creating an ultra-secure network. A lot of people were worried that quantum computing was going to break down cryptocurrencies because as they stand right now, people think that quantum computers will be able to destroy a traditional crypto network. So it makes sense that they'll come up with a quantum crypto network that can withstand it. I mean, duh. In a research paper published in Science Advances, the team led by Siddharth Koduru Joshi from the University of Bristol has established a quantum network protocol that allows multiple parties to directly communicate without activity, switching, or trusting nodes. Prior to the team's breakthrough, quantum computing networks were mostly limited to 2 users. Scaling used to be a tough nut to crack as it presented a number of problems. I'm not really going to talk about anything else. I thought I might, but I'm not going to. It's incredibly complex. I don't understand it. Just know quantum cryptography and quantum computing are coming. It's going to be interesting to see which cryptos update first. My money's going to be on Cardano. Hey. And then to round things out, a U.S. man just pled guilty in a $722 million BitClub network Ponzi scheme. The man, Joseph Frank Abel, pled guilty by video conference before U.S. District Judge Claire C. Sushi. According to a statement released by the U.S. attorneys, Craig Carpatno, the defendant, and his accomplices operated a fraudulent scheme that solicited money from investors in exchange for shares of the purported cryptocurrency mining pools. In addition, the scheme rewarded investors with recruiting new members. There were like 4 to 6 people. Craig seemed to be the head of everything, but Joseph was definitely a participant. According to the United States, the conspiracy charge, to which Abel just pled guilty to, carries a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison and a fine of $250,000, or twice the pecuniary gain to the defendant or loss to the victims. The tax charge, on the other hand, which he also pled guilty to, carries a maximum penalty of 3 years in prison and a fine of up to $100,000. Sentencing is scheduled for January 27th, 2021. Now, I'm going to be real honest with y'all. In the United States, white-collar crime is not treated as harshly, especially since he pled guilty. He knows the evidence is probably against him, and rather than drawing things out over a long trial and wasting more taxpayer dollars, if he pleads guilty, shows remorse, the up to 8 years will probably be instead 3 to 5. He'll get out early for time served and good behavior, and they'll probably only make him pay back $250,000. And if he was a smart and clever cookie, he stashed away way more than that. He'll be fine. Whatever. So that round things out with the 10 of the trending articles in the crypto news space that I was able to find. We'll give CoinMarketCap a good old quick refresh. Looking at the top 10 cryptos by market cap, everything is still in the red. Only thing with a slight green uptick is Chainlink at $12 flat. Everything else is pretty rough. Ethereum's down 4.5%. Bitcoin's down about 2%. XRP's down about 3%. Bitcoin Cash is down about 4%. Polkadot's down about 7.5%. Binance down about 3 3/4. Bitcoin SV is back in the top 10, pretty flat. And Litecoin is down almost 5%. Just kind of meh overall, but we'll get them next time. So to close things off, thanks to all those who have subscribed. I really do appreciate it. And always link down in the description that you can follow to check out all the articles we've talked about here today. I think that's where we'll end things today. As always, my name is John. It's been great talking to you all, and I will see everyone when I see you. Have a good one.